This is KGW News at 11.
We have breaking news here at 11 from Southeast Portland's Lentz neighborhood. Portland police just in the last hour confirming that an officer has shot someone. Art Edwards is at the scene. So Art, what can you tell us?
Well, Maggie, police, the first thing they told us was that the situation has been resolved. The man who was shot by police has been taken to the hospital for treatment. Behind me, you can see that the investigation is still going on. You can see the staging area behind me for Portland police. They say this started just before 8 o'clock this evening when they tried to make a traffic stop of a car at 92nd and Schiller. Instead of stopping, the car sped off. At this point, police don't know why that was the case. They used an intervention technique, and they were able to stop him at 88th and Schiller, and where there was a crash of that car. Now, there was a confrontation between the man who was in the car, he was in the car by himself, between that man and police officers. Gunshots were fired, the man was wounded. He stayed in the car at that point and would not come out. Police had to bring in the negotiation team, and it took about 2 hours before they were finally able to convince the man to come out of that car. At that point, they were able to take him to the hospital for treatment. Now, police say that they had reason to believe that he was armed. As I said, they still do not know why it was he did not stop for them when they tried to make that initial traffic stop. At one point, they told people in this neighborhood that they needed to stay inside in order to remain safe because they didn't know exactly what was going to happen with this situation. That has now changed. They have taken the man to the hospital. There is no danger to anyone around here right now, and the investigation continues. We are at Holgate and 92nd. Holgate is blocked off between 92nd and 82nd. Police say it'll probably stay that way for at least the next couple of hours while they work on this investigation. Maggie? All right, Art Edwards live for us, and everybody at home will bring you updates as they come. Thank you so much. Let's turn now to weather and powerful storms across the country. We'll start here in the Portland metro area where wind and rain knocked out power for thousands. Saturday's heavy wind and rain soaked the Portland metro area, slowing traffic and knocking out stoplights.
The lights kind of went off and on, and then another big boom, and they were out.
Indeed, PGE says the lights went out for more than 3,000 customers total. The storm toppling tree after tree. This one fell on a power line in Beaverton at Southwest 92nd and Allen.
It all made sense when I walked down here and saw all those trees.
Power crews raced to get the lights back on.
They got a bulldozer over there ready, you know.
And they weren't the only ones on cleanup duty. In Southeast Portland, this tree completely blocked a road, and people in the Lentz neighborhood sent us this photo. Wind flipped their backyard trampoline. No reports of injuries Saturday, but plenty of damage and manpower spent on cleaning things up. And a quick look now at those power outages across the Portland metro area. This is the PGE Outage Map. You can see 86 outages right now affecting 798 customers. So power is coming back online slowly but surely. Meantime, people in the Midwest are dealing with far worse tonight. Dozens are feared dead after dozens of tornadoes ripped through Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Right now, Kentucky officials are reporting more than 70 dead in their state alone, and the governor thinks that number will climb to at least 100. President Biden told the governors of those states today the feds will do everything they can to help.
What I'm working with the governor of Kentucky and others who may want me to be there is I may make sure that we are value added at the time and we're not going to get in the way of the rescue and recovery. But I do plan on going. But I promise you.
And there's video of the damage there. Officials in Illinois confirmed 6 deaths at an Amazon warehouse east of St. Louis. At least 4 people were killed in Tennessee, 2 in Arkansas, and 2 in Missouri. Rescue efforts continue as we speak. On that note, let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri, who's standing by. So, Joe, I know you've been tracking weather across the country. So, we just talked about the Midwest. What can you tell us about conditions there now?
Well, the threat has kind of subsided a little bit, but it's heartbreaking just looking at some of that video of some of those towns that are just wiped out from those tornadoes and the severe weather from last night. Now, a lot of the showers and some of that active weather has pushed off a little bit to the East Coast. But again, all the watches and warnings have expired. And I just looked a couple of minutes ago before coming on air, and it looks like there's there's no threat tonight in terms of severe weather. But as we look at our forecast here locally, Maggie, we are still going to be seeing some heavy downpours as a very strong cold front starts to move on shore. We're already seeing evidence of a little bit of some unstable air out there, with some thunderstorms have developed a little bit along the southwest Washington coast near the northern Oregon coast. And that's going to be really the big weather headline heading into tomorrow. Heavy downpours, a little bit of some severe weather along the coast with some thunderstorms and some hail. Speaking of some of those heavy downpours, it's starting to move in along Highway 26 just about 45 minutes ago. Currently throughout downtown Portland, we are dry for the time being, and there will be some of us that wake up to dry conditions tomorrow, but where it won't be dry, over the mountain passes. That includes the Coast Range and the Oregon Cascades, where it has been just piling up here all day long. In terms of rainfall amounts so far today, we've seen close to an inch here in the metro area. Down in Salem and Eugene in the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley, well over an inch of rain. And over Newport and Astoria, you definitely saw a good amount of rain earlier today. Start to see some drier weather right now, but as we put the futurecast into motion, like I said, some of us will be waking up to some drier weather tomorrow, but it's short-lived because we'll continue to see some heavy downpours at times, a good part of tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours. Again, if you're going to be traveling over the mountain passes, it's going to be nearly white-out conditions tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Winter storm warning in effect throughout the Oregon Cascades. I'll talk more about that in just a couple minutes from now.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you then. Let's turn to politics now. Testimony got underway remotely in Salem today. Oregon lawmakers now weighing tenant protections and what to do about the surge in need for rent assistance. The state, of course, paused its rental assistance program 10 days ago because all the federal aid, they said, had been spent. Currently, the legislature is considering giving those waiting for their rent assistance a longer, what's called safe harbor period. Right now, they're protected from eviction for 60 days. Some lawmakers want to extend that period. They're also considering allocating $225 million toward rent assistance. That includes $10 million into a landlord guarantee fund to pay landlords if their tenant does not get assistance.
We are still at high risk of facing eviction as we do not have the thousands of dollars that is needed to prevent eviction unless OERP does what they say they will do. We are well past our 60-day protection as we applied in June, and it is still dragging on.
According to testimony from the Oregon Law Center, there have been more than 2,200 non-payment court evictions filed statewide since the eviction moratorium ended in June.